Hi, everybody. We're back.
Yeah, and this one's a real doozy.
Yeah, I kind of actually wish we could go back to the alien boobs.
So, what were we reviewing that caused so much pain?
CAD comic.
More specifically, Ctrl+Delete the animated series, if you want to get technical about it.
Now, there is some history to this, and I just want to say thank you, Jad, so much for, filling in the gaps. Because, now the thing is, I actually used to read CAD comic, a long time ago when I was, super young. But I didn't know much about the series. I just knew that it was bad. That's all I knew.
Yeah, I never actually read the comic myself. I just knew about it after I've seen everyone roasted on back in the Tumblr days before the Great Purge.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, but okay. So this was based off the semi-popular webcomic of the same name by Tim Buckley. It started in 2002, and it's still going on today. So that is 22 years. If I'm correct, right?
Yeah, 22 years.
That is ridiculous. Does he not have anything else to do?
Apparently not.
And this is his job, right?
Yeah, he gets paid for it, or rather, he gets paid off stolen donation money.
Yeah. Does he have a Patreon? I don't know if he does. I have no idea. It's been a long time since I've known anything about it.
So, the comics updates Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays like most Red comics often do, and it originally started off as a basic 4-panel comic with gags and jokes related to gaming and nerd culture. But then they started to introduce main characters like Ethan, the nerdy man-child who always gets in trouble, and his roommate Lucas, who is supposed to be the voice of reason, and somehow Lila, who not only became Ethan's girlfriend, but eventually his wife.
That's right. We're going to talk about why that's shocking in a bit. But yeah, this dude got a girlfriend. So the series has received criticism for its pacing and its humor. And Buckley also reuses character models and facial templates, which is just extremely lazy. Okay, so if you've been on the internet, so me and Jad are two people who are perpetually on the internet. We are pop culture nerds, so we know a lot about memes and their history. And well, Tim Buckley was responsible for a very infamous meme called Lost. Now, all right. So, like we said, Lila and Ethan later get married, and there was a story arc where Lila said she was pregnant. And I actually remember reading this, and at first I didn't get it. I was really young when this comic came out. I think I was still in high school.
You won't tell what the hell was going on in this comic. I had no idea what was going on when I first saw it.
I also just want to say that this specific comic is so infamous, it has its own Wikipedia page. I'm not kidding. It has its own Wikipedia page.
So the first panel had Ethan running into the hospital. Mm-hmm. Second one has him talking to the receptionist. The third panel has him talking to the doctor. And the final panel has his wife lying on the side on the hospital bed, crying as he looks devastated.
So it turns out she had a miscarriage.
But you will know that if you're just looking at the comic itself.
Yeah, okay, so the reason, a lot of people, okay, so now nobody's saying, you can't, have comics that are funny, have them deal with serious subject matter. It's just, this was not the way to do it.
Yeah, it's such an inept way of handling the subject matter, and not to mention, it just comes right out of nowhere, especially, I say, it just continues with the, its type of humor for the very next page.
Yeah, it was like a tonal whip splash thing. And that's sometimes why it's really, really hard for some people to, it's like, see, she has the miscarriage, and then I'm looking at the website because it has like everything archived, and like right after that happens, they go back to jokes.
Yeah, and did you see? Did you heard about Found? Apparently,
Found?
Apparently, as a way to troll some of the criticism, Tim Buckley briefly changed that page, so he renamed it to Found in the last panel. Everything the same, but Ethan's looking at the viewer with a smirk on his face.
That's not really that funny.
No, it's in such poor taste.
Yeah, as we continue, you're gonna figure out that Tim Buckley is not the most mature person in the world.
And
his popularity has waned over the years too. Like, he still has a dedicated following, but not like he used to.
Yeah, and he even saw some prominent critics, like Charlie Hawkins, co-creator of Penny Arcade. He referred to Tim Buckley as the Antichrist, and how the comic page Lost was one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So with this criticism, it's come as no surprise that Lost quickly became a meme, and somehow, a company wanted to turn Ctrl+Alt+Delete into an animated series. And that company was called Blind Ferret Entertainment.
Now, I'm going to say this. I understand why, because, again, CAD comic was extremely popular back in the day.
Yeah, and they actually thought this cartoon was good enough to be on TV.
No.
No, it obviously wasn't, as for reasons you're about to see. And so, since no network wanted it, Buckley instead have it be part of CAD Premium, which was a subscription service for Ctrl+Alt+Delete, where you see pages in advance and behind-the-scenes stuff, and this cartoon for a monthly subscription, which a lot of people criticize because it did not match the value audio at all. Like, you're about to see, and
So, we were lucky enough that someone uploaded the entire 2 seasons to YouTube. Now, it turns out they had the original voice cast in season 1, but then they totally changed the voice cast, and apparently it's because Tim Buckley was not, like, enjoyable to work with. A lot of people did not like working with him.
No, and they even changed the animation studio as well.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of how we should, like, begin this. Because, see, the episodes are only, like, 3 minutes long?
About 3 to 7 tops.
Yeah, and, the animation in this is... I'm trying to think of a good way to say this.
Even for 2006 Flash animation, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, like, Homestar Runner was around at the same time, and it had much better animation. Like, it was more
much
fluid.
more visual appealing, and it was animated by 2 people.
Yeah, it's the brothers Chaps. Like, literally, it's 2 brothers working on it. The people who are voicing the characters are them, and I think Matt's wife Missy. Like, it was, that's not a lot of people, but
they were passionate about it. Like, they were clearly passionate about the cartoons, but here, no passion at all.
None.
Yeah, and
again, I'm trying to, like, how do we talk about this? Should we talk about...
They were trying to be Family Guy, but for gamers. Like, a bunch of shock humor and cringy video game references. Like Ethan... I don't know the counts, and I don't know if this portrayal is accurate, but he became basically a game-obsessed sociopath.
So here's the thing. I feel like in the comics, from what I remember, he was a lot more balanced. I mean, he was, like, crazy and really obsessed with games. There's literally a storyline where something happened with Fallout 3, and he mailed himself to, like, the person he was in charge of, like, canceling it and hit him with like a Vault Boy and said, "Give us Fallout 3." So it's like, he's Lucas is the straight man and everything, but it was just, I don't know, for some reason it worked better in the comic, but I also feel like part of the issue is the animation, like I said, is just really bad. This is some of the worst moving animation I have ever seen.
Yeah, it was so stiff and flat, and characters only faced like one direction at 3/4 direction, like in a lot of those cheap animated adult shows nowadays.
Yeah, like
died Family Guy, but somehow even worse.
Yeah, I've noticed, like, with animation, like, if the movement and the flow of things is bad, it's really, really easy to spot. And just, like, the way the characters move, the way they talk, all of it's really stilted and bizarre.
Yeah, and
like you said, nobody really moves. Like, everyone's just standing around looking, like, straight at the camera, and also at the same time, it's really quiet.
Yeah, and it's really jarring because sometimes the quality of the voice actor's microphone varies. Like, I don't think there was any sound mixing at all, or
oh no,
and sometimes it gets really jarring when when the sound effects get really booming compared to how silent things were. And I can't just remember that one episode where it's just, there's no dialogue whatsoever, some kind of video game, and it was just dead silence and poorly compressed sound effects. That might have been the worst one out of all the episodes, in my opinion. Because there was no jokes at all. Hell, you can say that out about the rest of this show.
Yeah, like, okay, so I know it's like we're not really talking about the plot, but what they did is just sort of have one-off episodes, except for like the finales.
Yeah, like the season 1 finale was like, hey, you guys like this War of Stars, right?
Oh, God.
They were just reenacting the Star Wars trilogy, but with Jack Thompson as Darth Vader. Anyone remember him?
No. Nobody does.
No, and Hillary Clinton as Emperor Palpatine. Oh my God.
Okay, so this is like another thing. This series has aged like milk. Like, there's so many references that don't work anymore. Now, and you can do like nerdy culture jokes and make them work, but it's just, hey, something nerdy. Like, that's it. Like, that's the joke.
Yeah, and oh God, I'm really struggling with this. It was just so mind-numbingly bad. Like,
hey, no,
there was no redeeming qualities to it whatsoever. Like, oh my God.
Okay, so here's another thing. There also were sometimes like these random standalone comics that didn't focus on the main characters. There were like 4 random characters who were player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4. And for some reason, they had like a episode of shorts, and one of them featured player 1, player 2. Wasn't funny. But also,
there was that fucking phonemic DS.
That was so stupid. It wasn't funny.
It was not really horrible. Like, it even worse. It almost felt like it was promoting Burmia or whatever it's pronounced.
Yeah, it felt like that. Like, again, I really feel like, okay, so besides the animation being awful, the jokes and the writing in general are just bad. And I'm also going to say this. The delivery is not that great, but I don't blame that on the voice actors at all.
No, I blame Buckley. I mean, from what I've seen in the credits, he almost went in every episode, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he even appears in an episode of
And you can hear the saliva sloshing around in his mouth.
It's so gross. It sounds terrible.
I know, it was so gross.
Like, again, so someone, I was watching this on YouTube, and someone says, this could have been good. I'm like, you know what? I think it could have been. It's just, so besides, really terrible animation, jokes falling flat, Ethan's not that likable of a character.
No, he's a fucking psychopath, and how the fuck did this guy get married? Like, seriously, how?
I have no idea. I feel like they toned it down a little bit in the comics, but like...
Here they just made him Peter Griffin 2.0.
Yeah. It's not just that, but also like, okay, so like we said, he has a wife/girlfriend. She seems like she's actually really on top of it. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's like a pro gamer. In one of the episodes, they go to Vegas for a TF2 tournament, and she gets second place.
And
yet she's with this character. She's with this guy who doesn't want to work. He only really cares about video games. He only focuses on video games. Or when he wants to, he focuses on sex. Like, that's really it.
In the intro of every episode, just while he's talking, he just fucking gropes her.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be playing for laughs. Like, Jesus.
Oh, another thing. Okay, so this was like in one of the first comics. So somehow Ethan, despite being just a man-child, he's really brilliant because he makes a robot out of an Xbox.
Right, that's who that robot was.
Yeah, so they don't... This is another issue. They don't explain anything in the series, so if you've never read the comic...
assume that people who read the comic would go and watch the series and would already know.
Which is another problem. Like, okay, so here's the thing. If you are going to make a series based on an existing property, be it a comic or a book or anything, you need to make sure that your first few episodes work on introducing you to the characters. If people have, again, never read the comic, and there was probably a lot of people who didn't, they wouldn't know who Zeke was. I knew who he was because, like I said, I read this when I was, like, in high school. But again, if you've never seen, it's like, why is there a robot? Like, he's even in the little opening there. They'd be like, why is there a robot here? And if you look at him, he does look like he does kind of look like an Xbox. But yeah, like, they don't tell you that in the first episode. You just have to, figure it out yourself.
And apparently, there's some other guy who's like in a bucket hat with sunglasses who always keeps to himself. Like, I don't think it only appears in 2 episodes, but they always show him in the intro like he's gonna be one of the main cast, but he doesn't show up.
I forget his name.
And apparently he has a pet penguin?
Yeah. I don't even think he's still in the comic. It's been, again, a long time since... the penguin's name was Ted. That much I remember.
Oh my!
But I can't remember the name of his owner.
Fucking penguin's name.
Yeah, I can remember the penguin's name because there was a whole episode where Ethan was convinced that the penguin destroyed his computer. Again, it's like...
Yeah, I know it's hard for us to do a review of it because not only was it painful to watch, but there's not really much substance to it. Okay, how about, I got what do you thought was the worst episode?
Ooh, that's a good question. Which one was the worst episode? Trying to think. Well, this one's actually hard. I was gonna say the Star Wars episode, but the episode where Layla asks him to help with the cleaning and he fails at every single step. So she ends up having to do, like, all of it. Wait. Oh, no. What was the one where it was just, like, I think it was the Rainbow One episode?
Rainbow One?
I'm looking at the YouTube history. Hang on, let me see. It might have been this one. Because there was this episode where it didn't even feature the characters.
Wait,
it was just...
Is that the fucking one with no dialogue at all? And
yes! It doesn't feature the characters, and it's just quiet.
Yeah, there's no fucking jokes for it at all. Just a bunch of sound effects and violence. Like, I don't even know what the joke was supposed to be or what it was referencing.
I have no idea either. And again, this is the problem. It's like, if you're going to reference stuff, you need to give us some sort of, leeway or something. I don't know. It's just frustrating and lazy and just unfunny. And again, like, I think, this could have been interesting, but I feel like
the execution was inept.
Yeah, like, really at the end of the day, that's the problem. And I feel kind of bad for the people who worked on this, because again, as we said, the voice actors apparently didn't like working with Tim Buckley. Scott, that was the name of the character with the penguin. But see, I think maybe if Buckley hadn't been so overbearing and controlling, maybe this would have been better. Because I also feel like the reason the animation suffers is also because I feel like Buckley was being too controlling.
That makes sense. He seems like a control freak.
Yeah, so from what I understand, he like rebooted CAD Comic. He like scrapped everything. He sort of like steered away from the video game stuff. It was like on the side, and the art looks pretty much better. Like, it looks better. It's more...
It doesn't just copy and paste anymore.
Yeah, it's cleaner, but even... I don't know. It's just, I think really... I think what I just found so frustrating is that, like, some of these jokes... Like, there was the episode that was, like, about, like, a dungeon crawler. That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, they were doing some MMORPG.
I felt like that's where most of the effort went.
Mm-hmm. And everything else, they just took a dump in the animation booth studio.
Yeah, I think this is sort of why also a lot of people stopped being fans, because it really feels like he scammed them out of money.
Mm-hmm. Just like he's allegedly scammed that donation drive, apparently.
What donation drive?
I gotta look it up, but I heard rumors that that he allegedly stolen let's see. I heard someone that he allegedly stolen donation money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I gotta look this up more.
I also feel like this CAD comic animation is kind of like a cautionary tale about what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to adapt something. Like, here's the thing, animation is hard, but it can be done well. There's a artist I follow on Twitter. I'm gonna try to find her name real quick. And I discovered her a while back. She goes by Baphomet, but on Twitter it's Tound, Tound. And I discovered her because I follow a bunch of animators on Twitter. I love animation. I love cartoons. And I wanted to find more independent animators who are working on their own projects. And I found her. She is working on a movie called Sinking Road. And I looked at some of the animation. I'm like, oh, this looks really good. And then I found out she's doing all the animation herself.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, if you guys don't realize, that's just it's going to be a movie. It's a really big thing for her to do. But, like, I've seen the animation, and it all looks fluid. Like, her style is really reminiscent of, what is it called? Oh, Rubber Hose animation. She has like her own world she created. I think it's called Dorm. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but like she's really into clowns, but she made this whole world filled with clowns, and she has lore and all this stuff. Like she's put a lot of effort into it. And again, that was just one person. If one person can do all this work and make something that looks absolutely amazing and colorful and fluid, why couldn't this crew make this comic adaptation any good?
Yeah, and there's all these big indie animation shows just booming online, and it is miles above what Tim Buckley did.
Yeah, I feel like this might be one of the things he's probably most embarrassed about. Just because, I mean, it wasn't just the fact that it was bad, but he, a lot of people felt scammed out of money. And it just sort of, he never, I don't think he ever refunded them or anything. And it kind of almost feels like he never got past that.
His career never recovered after that.
Yeah. It's not, there's nothing here. While Gandahar's not a perfect film, I felt I had more fun with that. It was at least interesting to watch.
Definitely. And so, is there anything else we can talk about this, or have we pretty much got all the scraps off of it?
I can't really think of anything. Is there anything else you want to add?
I never read Ctrl+Alt+Delete, and after watching this and hearing about how infamous it is, I'm glad I never did.
It's
I
really
was
not
more of a VG Cats and fanboys guy growing in high school anyway.
Honestly, it doesn't really hold up. It's, again, you can do nerdy culture stuff and have it be funny and have it hold up, but
And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have this and Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. You know what? This kind of feels like proto Big Bang Theory. Oh my god.
Buckley created the original cringe before all these guys ever got to it.
Oh god. And I try not to use cringe, but guys, it is cringe. It just, again, this is one of those things where there is nothing, and I mean nothing, to enjoy here. Again, we only one of the episodes was actually pretty decent.
Oh, which one was that?
It was that episode where they were doing the dungeon crawl. That was probably really only decent one, but that's not enough to fix all this.
No, it's definitely not enough to make up for everything else in this series. So, what score are you willing to give this?
I think I'm gonna give it a 1. I was bored through these episodes. I couldn't wait for them to be over.
Yeah,
again, there was just I mean, again, I think the thing is, the bad animation, was one thing, but I really didn't notice just how quiet it would be and how there would be no sounds. And also, though, they had a walking sound. In one of the episodes, the walking sound keeps going, but no one is moving.
That unlocked the memory I had in that final episode. It does recycle that fight music from the Star Trek show, and you can actually hear the punching sound effects from that show in the actual episode, even when no one's throwing a punch.
It was just, it's just, again, nothing here. There's nothing salvageable. It's just boring.
Yeah, I give that one as well. This, even Donkey Alley and those crypto cartoons, it was really laughably bad, and but here, there's no redeeming quality, nothing to make up for it. Just, that's nothing but painful crit and unlikable characters and really, really desperate references.
I kind of feel maybe if at least one of the characters was more fleshed out, maybe that would have been a saving grace.
Lucas was decent, and Ezekiel, even though his whole shtick was how he's superior to Ethan, which isn't a high bar.
Yeah, and even though Ethan somehow made him, it just, again, I also, like I said, if they had done a better job of, like, introducing the characters, then maybe this would have done well, but it's like, you just sort of made this for the people who knew about it. That's not going to make it last. You have to invite new fans in and make them interested. Like, also, we didn't really have a lot of time. Like, we didn't even have a lot to talk about. It was really hard just because it's so boring. There's nothing.
Like, no jokes at all.
Yeah,
no
I had such a hard...
to the writing
like,
at all.
See, when it came to the NFT cartoons, I was at least, my anger was a motivator. It's like, if I finish this, I can go do something else. I just got really bored with the CAD comic. I was like, eh.
That's somehow even worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was like, why is this not over? I'm bored. just end, please.
Well, it's almost the end, because it's news time.
Woo.
Okay,
right.
We got some sad news, unfortunately.
No. Oh, yeah, this was sad.
Yeah.
So, Jad, do you remember Mary Poppins?
Many years ago.
Yeah, Mary Poppins is one of the, many live-action Disney films. But this is, like, one of the best ones. It was based off a book by P.L. Travers, and the movie came out in 1964. Now, most people know Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. You know, they were, like, the two leads. But, there's a family in the movie. Mm-hmm. And, you have the kids, Jane and Michael Banks, and you have their mom, Winifred Banks, who, is like a suffragette.
Yeah.
And she's really big on the women's movement. She's, like, a little distracted, but you can't help but love her.
Yeah, in the film, I believe she was, like a political speaker. I don't think she had that job in the book.
Yeah, she had every time you saw her, she had a big old sash that said "Votes for Women," and she even has a song about it called
I don't know.
Sister Suffragette. That's it.
Oh.
And she was played by an actress named I think it's Glynis Johns. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So, oh wow, she was really pretty. She is a British woman. Mary Poppins is British. She has a career spanning 7 decades. 7 decades on stage and screen. Oh, holy crap. She appeared in more than 60 film and 30 plays. Holy crap. Wow. And she also received a Tony, a Drama Desk Award. She was nominated for an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, and the Laurence Olivier Award. And, well, the reason we're talking about her is, unfortunately, she has passed away at age 100, which I think is pretty impressive.
Yeah, really old.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't, like, living past 90, is also, I feel, kind of rare these days. So her to live to 100 is super rare. I don't think it says how she died. I think it was natural. Yeah, she died peacefully Thursday morning in Los Angeles. Yeah, so she just died peacefully in her sleep, I think. Which, honestly, I kind of hope that's how I go. You know, I'd rather just die peacefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not really much for me to add here. So, I forgot about this. There isn't no time with this one. Mickey's Mousetrap, a horror comedy movie, announced.
Okay, I kind of think we jinxed it, because we had made jokes before Steamboat Willie was in the public domain. We had made a bunch of jokes being like, oh, a bunch of people are going to make horror movies or something featuring Mickey Mouse. And besides having 2 games announced, we now have a movie.
Oh my god, and you heard the controversy with that game?
Oh yeah, what was it?
Infestation 88.
Yeah, the creator apparently is a Nazi.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of openly transphobic Nazis on the game's Discord channel, and
Oh,
even
fantastic.
some Nazi references slipped into the game as well as AI generated assets.
Oh god.
Like,
All
it's
right,
one
so
controversy after another.
here's the thing. I think like the main thing is the reason a lot of people are overtaking a character that was solely made for like entertainment purposes and is sort of more kid friendly. All of it is the same.
Mm-hmm. Like, they
It's
just want to bank off Shaq value to get free
Yeah.
publicity.
It's never different. There's nothing clever. I don't even know what company is making this movie. It doesn't say. It also
Yeah.
just feels weird because okay, they're in a
Arcade.
yeah. I don't know why. Maybe if they had been in an animation museum, that would have made more sense. Because I mean, I can't think of any like standing arcade games that feature Mickey Mouse.
No, and the guy, apparently there's a small theater with Steamboat Willie playing, and the guy is wearing a black and white Mickey Mouse mask.
Yeah, I hate to say it. Even if I liked this kind of stuff, this trailer does not look that interesting.
No, this looks like a generic slashing film.
Yeah, again, guys, if you're gonna use characters in the public domain, please try to be more creative. That's all we're asking.
If you're gonna have Mickey Mouse be a serial killer, like, go all the way. Like to his mutilating the victims, he's playing tucking a straw with the organs. Like, he's using their rib cage as a xylophone. Plucking at their intestines like it's a guitar.
Mm-hmm. That would make more sense. Like, have make it cartoony.
Use their stomach as bagpipes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that would make sense. Like, have it be more cartoony. A lot of this just feels super lazy. Okay, we got some more movie news. Jack Black tapped to pay Minecraft Movies Steve, according to a news report.
Oh,
now,
damn.
I haven't played Minecraft yet, but I kind of know like the basics. I mean,
it's Lego.
I don't know
basically.
how they're gonna make a movie out of this because I mean, Minecraft doesn't have much of a plot, right?
No, it's just building stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, Jack Black was Bowser, so. And like, I don't want to judge it yet, just because a lot of these movies based off of video games have really surprised me. So I think they can probably do something interesting with this.
Yeah, I mean, Barbie movie surprised a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that really did surprise a lot of people. So Minecraft is a sandbox game that is probably like currently one of the most popular sandbox games. It's one of the best-selling games in history. And like even today in 2024, there are still people playing it. It came out in 2011, but the game still has a very dedicated fan base. And also, they did like an episode of Adventure Time in the Minecraft art style. And it's actually a really fun episode.
Oh yeah, and they also did an entire South Park episode about it.
Oh, they did?
Informative Murder Pun, it was called.
Do you play Minecraft at all, Jad?
No, never touched it.
Yeah, I haven't played it either, but I really would like to. My friend Hero, our friend Hero says he thinks they say that I would like it. Yeah. I do like sandbox games. They can be really fun.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so next up, oh yeah. Oh shit! Another Steamboat Willie horror film in production.
Oh god damn it! Why? Are we being punished?
Does God hate us?
I think he does.
So Stephen Lamort. Let's see. What else did this guy direct? He's directing this horror movie. And
okay, I will say this. For this one, it makes a little more sense. They're actually going to have it on a ferry.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse is an actual mouse, but apparently for copyright, to play it safe, they're not referring him to Mickey Mouse. They refer to him as the titular Steamboat Willie.
Yeah. Because for those of you who are not aware, the reason Disney has been able to continue to use Mickey Mouse is because what they've done is reintroduce Mickey Mouse. Like every once in a while, they reintroduce Mickey Mouse and give him a new design. So the reason you can't use Mickey Mouse is because Disney still owns him, but they don't own Steamboat Willie anymore. Now, technically, you could call the character Steamboat Willie, but, you just couldn't call him Mickey Mouse, and you couldn't, give him the titular, red shorts he has, or the yellow shoes. He has to just be Steamboat Willie. It's the Steamboat Willie design. That's the only one you can use, and I know why that name sounded familiar. This is the guy who directed The Mean One, that horror parody of The Grinch.
Okay. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
And
that one didn't do that well, if I remember.
It was... I heard it had some of the worst special effects you've ever seen in a horror film.
Yeah, it has a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes, and IndieWire gave it a D+.
And it's been produced by Stephen Dillis and Michael Levy, who were the producers of Terrifier 2.
So it's going to be super bloody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking forward to this at all. Again, it's just lazy. Please don't go hate watch this. Please.
Because we'll get more of these.
I don't want more. I want less. Please. I am begging y'all. Do not go see this.
But it's not all doom and gloom.
Yay.
And why's that?
Because The Boy and the Heron, the latest film from Studio Ghibli, won a Golden Globe.
Yeah, for Best Animated Picture.
Again, not surprising. However, what is interesting, this is the first 2D animated film to ever win a Golden Globe.
Yeah, it's the first Japanese animated movie and the first hand-drawn movie to get a Golden Globe. Yeah, and also,
we've talked about this, but Disney has sort of been winning Oscars and various other awards sort of by default. So for them not to have won this is kind of a big deal. Because let's see. This is actually the second time. It's been 2 years in a row that a Disney or Pixar film has not won. First, it was Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio in 2022. Now it's Boy and the Heron. And that's not to say that no animated films by other companies have won, but it's I'm looking at the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Disney-owned films have won for Best Picture in recent years. So it's kind of a good sign that a Netflix animated film, which totally deserved the win, was able to win, but also that a film that wasn't based on anything previously could also win, because The Boy and the Heron is an original idea.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people were a little frustrated because they were worried that Wish might possibly win because for some reason it was nominated. I'm not sure why. I actually saw Wish. It was okay. But
yeah, that's what everyone says.
It's not god awful like a lot of people try to say it is, but it's fine. It's fine. But it's there's no way it deserves to be up against The Boy and the Heron, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse,
Nimona.
Yeah, but no way. There's no way that Wish is winning the Oscar either. There's just no way.
God, no.
I think we want to do a special where you go see Wish and then we both talk about it. Because again, the film, while not god awful, it's not Disney's best. It's really not.
Okay, and more on the Golden Globe news. Oppenheimer wins Best Picture.
That's not surprising at all.
Yeah, it's no surprise at all, considering how quickly acclaimed this movie was.
Mm-hmm. I haven't got a chance to see it, but I want to. But like, I think the thing is just there was so much hype for it. But from what I heard, like Cillian Murphy, who plays the lead Oppenheimer, gave like a fantastic performance. I haven't heard like a single bad thing about any of the performers at all.
Yeah, and let's see, how many wins did this get?
I'm counting. Let's see.
1,
Best motion picture.
2,
Best performance by a male actor. Scrolling down. Best performance by a main actor in supporting role. Best director. Best original score. Is that all of them? I'm still scrolling down. And there's a lot of winners. So far, it's 5.
Damn.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, 5.
That's still a pretty big deal.
Definitely.
And honestly, this is like 2023 was a pretty good year for movies. I mean, there was some crap, but there were some really good ones too.
Yeah, like surprisingly, Universal dominated box office this year after Disney's stranglehold on cinema.
And everybody was super shocked, but I was kind of shocked just because it's been such a long time, like as you said, for Disney not to be the number one like entertainment company in during that year. But it's like Disney's last year was not that good for them, and it doesn't look like it's gonna get better for a while. Unfortunately, I mean, time will tell, but I don't know.
Anyway, let's see. So your turn or mine?
I think it's my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's mine. Okay, so The Simpsons has nabbed yet another Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program. Now, I haven't watched Simpsons in a very long time. However, it appears that season 34 has been the best, like, The Simpsons has been in a very long time.
Oh yeah, even after the fall now, I still watch the Treehouse of Horror specials every year.
Yeah. How can you not love the Treehouse of Horrors? And I think people said this year's Treehouse of Horrors was really, really good. I haven't got a chance to watch it, but I think they say that like it's been a while since The Simpsons has like done that well. So hopefully, maybe this is like a good sign. Maybe The Simpsons will start to get better.
Hopefully.
Oh, and they nominated the Treehouse of Horror episode, so I'm kind of
the one
surprised
with the Death Note parody.
Okay.
And interesting thing is, for that segment, they actually outsourced to the animation studio that animated Death Note to animate that segment.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. And it looks really...
Oh, definitely.
Really good. So, I mean, like, if The Simpsons are going to continue to be around, I would at least like for it to be good. Like, that's all I'm going to ask for.
I've no fear of Real House stories for years. Okay, now, let's see. Oh, yeah, it's my turn. A remake of The Blob is in the works. This one surprised me.
No, thank you. We don't need it. Nobody was asking for it.
Yeah, like, didn't we only got a remake back in the 80s?
Yeah, I got a remake back in the 80s, and I think that's considered to... Oh, of course it's Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. That was mean, but it's like, I'm not surprised it's Warner Brothers with the way their company is going. Yeah, let's see. The first Blob came out in 1958. Then they remade it in 1988. And it was a failure. It only grossed $82 million against a budget of $10 million. So, it has a 62% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not fantastic, but it's... See, I think the thing is they said it was, it wasn't, like, trying to be campy like the original.
Oh, boy. And, yeah, I also heard it was really gory, too.
Yeah. Guys, I'm here to say this. Not every single horror movie has to be needlessly gory. You can still be scary without gore.
Yeah, and not really much to say about this one, but a lot to say about this one.
Yes. I'm actually genuinely excited about this, even though it's been a while since I've watched The Mandalorian. But Star Wars announced this new movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, from director Jon Favreau.
Yeah, this one excites me.
Yes,
like I'm really hyped about this one.
I've said this before. I'll say it again. These Star Wars CEOs need to every day they need to kiss Jon Favreau's feet and clean his shoes, because I think he kind of sort of saved Star Wars, because after the last movie, a lot of people was like, I'm not interested anymore. You know, I was one of those people. It's like, I don't want to watch these anymore. And then The Mandalorian came, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be interested in this. But then I saw Grogu, aka Baby Yoda. And I'm like, wait a second, what the heck is that? It's like, is that the actual Yoda? Because that was actually, if you guys don't know Star Wars, nobody really knows what Yoda is.
Yeah, they never said what his species is.
They don't know what planet he's from. There's only been one other creature like Yoda called Yaddle. Don't know anything about her either. So seeing something that looks like Yoda and is a baby, it's like, what the heck is that? So yeah, of course, it's genuinely adorable. But also Pedro Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian, has delivered such a great performance. And the thing is, for those of you who are not aware, Mandalorians, they wear helmets to cover their face. It's part of their
religion.
It's not, I think it's more like a creed. But yeah, it's part of their lifestyle. You do not show the helmet unless absolutely necessary. Yeah,
and I'm really looking forward to this one. I gotta watch the season 3 finale, but they've been knocking it out of the park with the Star Wars shows on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched Andor. I heard it's good, and you know what? I liked Book of Boba Fett. Okay, it was fun. Sue me, I liked it.
And I actually like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe having the TV shows, I think, may have helped a little. Because I think the issues with the movies, it felt like they were trying way too hard to shove too much into them. So maybe having the television shows helped fleshed out the world a little more.
Yeah, definitely.
And honestly, I feel like for a while, The Mandalorian was the only reason to have Disney Plus. There was nothing else making people want to buy it.
It was the flagship show on Disney Plus for years.
Mm-hmm. And it's also just one of those things where it's kids and adults love it. I work at a daycare, and there is a little girl. I call her Baby Yoda because she wears a little jacket that has Baby Yoda on it, and the hood has the Yoda ears.
Aww.
Yeah, so it's and I've seen so much Baby Yoda baby stuff, too. It's they came up with the perfect moneymaker, but it doesn't feel like they were purposely trying to make money. It's hey, we have an actual interesting story, and the character happens to be adorable. It's very rare that happens.
Yeah, it's like that trope in Western films where the main character has to look after a kid.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people kind of compared it to Rocket and Baby Groot. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of similar.
Okay, and oh yeah, you just added this. Nimona snags 9 nominations at this year's Annie Awards.
So, if you guys don't know, the Annie Awards are specifically for animation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like the Oscars for animation.
Yeah, they're best animated series, best animated movie, best storyboarding, voice acting, writing, etc.
Yeah, and this is another thing. Pneumonia it's based off a comic. It's based off a comic by... oh shoot! I forgot her name. Hang on, I got
got their name. I think they're non-binary now.
Yeah, they're non-binary. N.D. Stevenson.
Yeah, N.D. Stevenson. That's the name.
So they were the people. They were responsible for She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and they also write Lumberjanes, which is one of my favorite comic series. So I of course was excited for the movie, and it was announced, but then for some reason Disney was like, no, we're gonna drop this, and everybody was upset. But this is the one time Netflix was the good guy. They're like, hey, let's put the movie on Netflix, and it was a hit.
It was produced by Annapurna, I believe it. They're hoping they were hoping this film would kickstart the new animation unit, and looks like it was a big hit. And I hope whoever decided to can the Mona over at Disney, they got fired. Oh wait, they're no longer president and CEO.
Yeah, they're probably kicking themselves. Also, I'm a big fan of the Try Guys, and Eugene Liang is a voice of one of the characters. He is the voice of Ambrosius, and I was happy for him because he really wanted to be an actor, so I'm glad that he's getting some work. And he was really good. The voice acting was fantastic. The animation, of course, is really good. The story is also it'll get you in the feels. It'll get you right in the heart. It is so heartbreaking, but beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really gotta get around to watching this sometime.
Yes, you do. I'm gonna keep bugging you until you watch it.
Okay, and let's see what's next on the list.
I just added this too, just because I thought we should probably talk about this.
MatPat retires from YouTube.
Yeah, I can't believe it's happening.
Yes, I used to be a fan of his FNAF game theories, but then a lot of his theories just went off the deep end. Like, does Mario have antisocial personality disorder? Is Ness and Sans from Undertale the same person?
I know, like, a lot of his theories were weird, but, he just seemed like he really enjoyed doing it. However, MatPat's been doing this, I think, since 2010, from what I understand. He is married to a woman named Stephanie, and a while back, they had a kid.
Oh, wow.
So, I think, like I said, I think he's retiring because he has a kid, and a lot of people are like, yeah, that's why. And it's like, you know what, that makes sense. He's been doing this for years, and, as much as he enjoys it, he also has a family to raise. And I know, like, making videos, it takes a lot of time and effort, so he's probably like, you know what, as much as I like doing this, I want to focus on my family, which is respectable, which is, totally fine.
The same thing.
Yeah, and I mean, that makes sense. I kind of will respect a creator more if they're like, you know what, guys, I'm starting a family. I want to focus on that. I'll respect them more than trying to juggle work and a family if the work is affecting time with the family,
Yeah, I think that's what led to the hiatus with Homestar Runner. Like, Mike and Missy Palmer had a baby, and they had to put the series on hiatus for that.
Which, like, when I found out that, they had a kid, it's like, oh, okay, so that's why there was a hiatus. The little girl who showed up in the videos, that was their daughter.
No.
Yeah, like, I saw some behind the scenes. It was where she was dressed as a pumpkin, and the boom mic was hitting her, and she said, "Stop hitting me, Uncle Matt."
Yeah, that was adorable.
Yeah, so, good on him. I wish nothing for the best for him and his wife. He's, it's like, I don't agree with a lot of his theories, but he always seemed like a pretty decent guy, so.
And his cat's adorable. Skip.
He has a cat?
Yeah, Skip the cat, it was called.
You love cats, so of course that's one of the reasons you like them. Okay, do you want me to go first with recommendations?
Yeah,
or
you go first.
Okay. So, if you guys don't know, I've been trying to read more, and me and my friends, we have a book club each month. We meet at this really nice restaurant, and we talk about the book. But what I really like is that what we do, my friend literally has a hat. She has, like, a collection of hats. She's like, okay, everybody write down the name of a book. We write down the name of a book. We put it into the hat. Somebody reaches in and been like, okay, next month's book is this. And my book, I suggested a book called Mr. Magic. Now, I also really love horror. And Jan knows me really well. I really like horror that has something to do sort of like with nostalgia. Like, I really love horror that features puppets or some sort of weird kid show. Well, Mr. Magic was like, I saw the cover for this, and then I read the like description. I'm like, oh, this is literally for me. So there was a show on TV called Mr. Magic. But the thing is you can't find anything about the show. You can't find a production company. You can't find the name of the cast. You cannot find any episodes online. People all remember this show, but like you can't talk about the show or something happens. Like people take down websites and Wikipedia entries. Well, years later, there's this girl who's living on a ranch. She has no idea where she came from before that. Her dad brought her to the ranch, and they never left it. Her name is Val. I was trying to remember her name. Well, her dad unfortunately passes away, and her friends, who she hasn't seen in years, come by her like, don't you remember us, Val? We were on the show Mr. Magic. And she's like, I don't remember that. She has no memories of her childhood. She's like, I don't remember Mr. Magic. I don't remember any of you. And it turns out there's a reason why she doesn't remember anything, why this show has such a weird secret behind it. Like the reveal of what Mr. Magic really was and what happened shocked me, but also pissed me off. I don't want to give away too much, but when you read it, you'll get pissed off at the bad guys in this. I'm just saying that ahead of time, but it was really good. I read it in one day because I was so invested. It's I gotta know more. It's so good. It's by Kirsten White. She's written some other horror films, which now I want to read, but I highly recommend it. I also think it is available as a audiobook. You can get it on Amazon. I know Amazon is evil, but other places that have audiobooks, you can get it. But I highly recommend it. Now, my second recommendation, as I've said, I love animation. If you've listened to this podcast, you can tell that I love animation, and I'm really big with indie animation. There was an artist I used to follow who goes by the name of Zarel, and he created his own show called Monkey Wrench. Now, Monkey Wrench takes place in space, and it focuses on these two kind of hapless bounty hunters named Beebs and Shrike. And it's more of a comedy show, but the third episode that came out really showed that the writers and the other people on the creative team can manage to do comedy, but also something really emotional and sweet. I'm not going to give spoilers, but also the show is on YouTube, and they really need all the support they can get. If you can watch the episodes, tweet about it. Now, I'm just going to say they didn't pay me to do this, but I genuinely enjoy this show, and I really, really want it to do well. I want it to get more than one season. The character designs are great. The comedy is hilarious. And I also really love the alien designs. So that's Monkey Wrench. Just type in Monkey Wrench, and you will find it. Your turn.
Okay, and my turn. First off is my recommendation is Riff Tracks. Now,
which is something I'll also recommend.
Yeah. Now, what is Riff Tracks, you ask? Well, it's a American comedy group founded by Mystery Science Theater 3000 alumni. Ice, Michael J. Nelson, Kevin Murphy, and Bill Corbett. They played Mike Crow and Tom Silver mid-season of Mystery Science Theater 3000. They rotated through a lot of different performers over the years and to this day as well. And they, back in 2009, with the internet taking off, they decided to form their own company that does riffs of just about any type of movie. Bad sci-fi movies in the public domain, weird obscure movies, and even some big blockbuster movies, albeit they only sell the audio of their riffs for copyright reasons. They can't sell the movie with their riffs edited over it. I absolutely love this group when I went to a live screening of them live stream a theatrical event where they were just doing a live riff of Birdemic.
Ooh, I bet that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Like, one character in the film was going, "That was a great movie we saw, An Inconvenient Truth." And the ref was, "Yeah, we know what movie we saw, John." And
I also have to, highly recommend these guys too. I saw a live stream screening of them, but it was for Planet 9 from Outer Space.
oh, awesome. And another great one they did was, it was the Star Wars holiday special they did for the Christmas season. And that was hilarious.
That one was hilarious. It's not just funny, but the guys have like some of the best chemistry you're ever going to see. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend them. You can see the riffs on YouTube, Tubi, Amazon Prime, Pluto TV. You can just buy the audio of them riffing on much bigger films if you got, I don't know, Disney Plus or all those streaming services they're pumping out these days. Okay, and now for my second recommendation, a game I've been hooked on recently, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Now, I played the first game back when, and it was made available on PlayStation Plus for a limited time, and I thought, okay, this is pretty fun. I mean, obviously they were rushed to develop this game, and it has potential. And then they announced a sequel where they definitely had a lot more time and an actual budget behind this, because not only is there voice acting, something that was missing from the first game, but they also have more fighters, a more balanced roster with mechanics, an actual campaign that has roguelike gameplay, meaning that if you die once, you start all over. And a mechanic to help it stand out from Smash, the slime meter. Now, in a lot of traditional fighting games, you get a meter that you use to perform enhanced versions of your attack or special actions, and same for All-Star Brawl 2, where slime lets you perform enhanced versions of your special attack, automatically cancel any attack you have to perform a different and follow-up attack almost immediately, and of course when the meter's full, perform an ultimate attack that does a massive damage.
It also seems like there's actually a plot, too. I'm looking at the Wikipedia. I added this to my Steam because, it's Nickelodeon and it's a fighting game. Come on, how could I not like that? But it seems like there's also, like, an overarching story.
Yep, they actually got bosses and voice acting this time around.
Dude, they added Hey Arnold's grandma. Grandma Gertie's going to be in the game. That's amazing.
He's a playable character, and I've been maining Garfield recently.
I cannot wait to play this. I'm glad you said something because I totally forgot the game had come out. And I had been wanting to play it.
Yeah, and it's surprisingly a really great game. They got DLC coming out later this year, I believe.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia. I think it says there's going to be 4 additional characters to be released through downloadable content. Mm-hmm. So there's stuff to look forward to. Like I said, I just added this to my wish list because I had totally forgot this game had come out, and I really want to play it.
And it's got crossplay too, so no matter what kind you're playing on it, you can play with friends.
Yay! So I can play with you and John. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And also, I'm actually excited about the next thing we're going to review because I kind of have a soft spot for this movie. It's called The Brave Little Toaster.
Oh, I was obsessed with this one as a kid.
Me too. And I'm sometimes like, do people remember this film? But they do. They do. So I get happy when people remember this film. And there's actually a lot of really like interesting backstory to it. So I'm actually looking forward to that. But yeah, as always, stay beautiful. Enjoy weird media. Bye.
Bye-bye.